White wine with seafood and red wine with steak are just some traditional pairings for food and wine. But these pairings often miss the mark, leaving people confused and intimidated, and some may not even like the wine suggested. Instead, researchers say that these should be scrapped in favor of a consumer-focused approach because people generally fit into certain wine drinking preference categories, or vinotypes. The study, conducted by researchers at Michigan State University and published in the International Journal of Wine Business Research, suggests that servers and sommeliers should consider these individual preferences when suggesting a wine. For example, a traditional wine recommendation for a beef roast is Cabernet Sauvignon. But why would a server suggest a bold red wine if the customer doesn't like it? Carl Borchgrevink, a former chef and restaurant manager and the lead author of the study, says that customers should drink their favorite wine with their meal instead. The palate rules, not someone else's idea of which wine we should drink with our food, said Borchgrevink, associate professor and interim director of MSU School of Hospitality Business. They shouldn't try to intimidate you into buying a certain wine. Instead, they should be asking you what you like. Borchgrevink and culinary expert Alan Sherwin conducted the first study into Tim Henny's vinotype theory, which proposes that wine preferences are determined by both genetics and environment, and that such tastes change over time based on experiences. Henny, a chef and one of the first Americans to earn the Master of Wine qualification, proposes that there are 4 primary vinotypes: sweet, hypersensitive, sensitive and tolerant. These categories range from a preference for sweet, fruity white wines to those who enjoy bold, strong red, and everyone in between. Henny also created a series of criteria to determine which vinotype a person belongs to. For example, if you like sweet drinks such as sofa and you put a lot of salt on your food, you're more likely to belong to the sweet vinotype. But if you like strong black coffee and intense flavors, you're more likely to fall in the tolerant category. To conduct the study, the researchers surveyed a group of adults on food and beverage preferences, as well as their consumption patterns. They also held a food and wine reception with 12 stations where participants rated the food and wine presented at each station individually and then together. The results showed that the vinotype theory has some merit. The researchers were able to predict wine preferences based on consumption patterns and preferences. The next step the researchers will take is to test the vinotype theory outright by working with scholars globally, and separate studies are being planned with partners from around the US as well as from Hong Kong, France and other countries. According to the researchers, the work has implications for restaurants and wine stores, which they say should train their staff members on the vinotype approach and find questions to ask consumers that can uncover their wine preferences. But Sherwin says that the main focus is the wine drinker, who should learn to trust their own palate and not necessarily depend on experts. At the end of the day, it's going to be the consumer that has the final say, Sherwin says. They're going to be the arbiter.